Hey guys, guess what I watched last night?
I have no idea what.
Yeah, what did you watch?
I watched my favorite movie ever, Toy Story 3.
I love that movie. It actually reminds me a lot of humanities class.
What do you mean?
It relates a lot to the topics of fate and existentialism.
Oh yeah, I see what you mean.
Yeah, that is very true. There seems to be a lot of existentialism within the characters' actions. However, no matter what they do, fate always controls the end result.
Exactly. The whole issue starts with Andy deciding to put the toys in the attic, which is his own free will.
And then the toys get so upset by this that they decide to jump in the box that is going to Sunnyside Daycare, which is also their own free will. They have to take responsibility for everything that they get themselves into at Sunnyside because it was their own free will to jump in the box.
That is right, because free will is having the freedom of choice, and that means they have to take responsibility for their actions.
Those are some of the examples of free will that the characters show, but no matter what they do, the end result is still controlled by fate. At the end of the movie, there are many examples of fate.
Like what?
Well, when the toys fall into the fire pit where the garbage goes, they come so close to death. However, right before they burn to death, they're saved. Their fate is to be donated to other children in the end, so they are saved because fate will always control the ending.
Wow, it was clearly their fate to survive that entire ordeal. Now that I think of it, there is another example of fate. At the end of the movie, Lotso, the evil teddy bear that controls Sunnyside Daycare, finally meets his fate. He is on the side of the road, and a man comes by and finds him and ties him to the front of the truck with some other toys. He finally reached his ultimate fate.
Hey!
What you got?
I had me one of these when I was a kid! Strawberries.
Hey, buddy! You might want to keep your mouth shut.
Those are definitely examples of fatalism because fatalism is the belief that events are bound to happen and that an impersonal higher force is controlling it. Wait, this reminds me of the myth Oedipus the king. Oedipus tried everything to try to escape his fate, which was to kill his father and marry his mother. He moved to another city just to try to avoid this. However, his fate still ended up the same. In Toy Story 3, Lotso tried very hard to change the ultimate fate of the toys by sabotaging and almost killing them. But since their fate is already determined and bound to happen, Lotso could not change the fate of the toys, and in the end, they survived.
That's interesting. So no matter how hard one may try to control the outcome of their life, they can't because fate controls it. People may exert their own free will during their lives, but the end will always be the same no matter what path the person goes down.
The toys are about to burn to death. They all begin to hold hands because they realize that they cannot fear what is about to come. This reminds me of Slaughterhouse 5 when Vonnegut quotes Rootke saying, "I feel my fate in which I cannot fear." This line in the poem by Theodore Rootke shows that since fate is inevitable, so there is no use in fearing it.
Yeah, the toys thought they were coming to their fate and that there was nothing they could do about it, so they knew there was no use in fearing it. Instead, they decided to come together one last time.
This could connect to Frankel's book, Man's Search for Meaning, because while he's at the concentration camp, he says, "I did not know what the following days would bring, but I had gained an inward peace that I had never experienced before." He knows that he cannot control what is going to happen to him, yet he is at peace because he knows that everything will turn out the way it's supposed to.
I never knew that Toy Story 3 would have so many connections to my everyday life and to humanities class. That's such a surprise.
Turn out fine. Oh, you turn out fine. Fine.